So my name is John Kim. I'm a reporter at 16 News Now, WNDU. We're a NBC affiliate station based in South Bend, Indiana. And thank you so much for sparing your time to have an interview with us. Could you briefly introduce yourself and explain which position you have right now?
Hi, John. Yes, my name is Vincent Parisi. I am the president and chief operating officer for NIPSCO.
Thank you so much. So we have been covering the customers' concerns and worries and a little bit of anger over their gas utility and electricity utility bills. So customers across northern Indiana have been reaching out to us, saying they have been seeing shocking increases to their utility bills. So some say their bills have doubled or even tripled during this winter season. Could you explain what are some of the forces that are driving these dramatic increases?
Yeah, yes, John, and thanks for taking some time to talk about this. We've been hearing those same concerns from our customers. It's understandable when you get a bill that's bigger than you expected. It has a direct impact on families and their budgets. It's a concern that we understand. We hear our customers. We have a lot of assistance programs available. I just want to start with that. So what happens with the natural gas bill and the electric bill is they're volumetric dependent, meaning how much energy you're using, whether it's gas or electric, will have an impact on the amount of your bill. In the winter months, the gas bill goes up because usage goes up. What our customers are feeling right now is this extended cold weather that we've had. We've had a significant increase in usage kind of across our entire service territory, and that does lead to higher bills, both in the amount of natural gas that customers are using, but also in the delivery charge, because that's also volumetric.
Thank you, sir. So I think a lot of customers also reached out to me saying they've been using the same amount of gas or electricity compared to last year, but their bills have increased compared to last year. So could you explain how this happened?
Yeah, it can feel that way, certainly. So last winter, when we look at our 2024-2025 winter, so that November, December of 24 into January, February, March of 25, we had a warmer than normal winter, which meant customers were actually using less natural gas over the winter months last year compared to what we're having now, which is a much colder than normal winter. November was not as cold. It was actually a little bit warmer than normal in November of 2025. December has gotten significantly colder. So when you look at a customer's bill or what a customer pays in months that aren't heating months, a customer might use about 14 therms. So in August of 25, for example, an average customer used about 14 therms. In December, a customer used 160 therms on average. So you can see that significant increase that happened in a just short period of time. And customers are feeling that, and they're also feeling the comparison of last winter that was warmer than normal to this winter, which is a lot colder than normal.
So, sir, customers, a lot of them telling me that they feel blindsided by this increase because NIPSCO, a lot of them say NIPSCO has ever reached out to them saying there would be possible hikes in their utility bills. How would you respond to their concerns?
Yeah, John, I appreciate that question. And again, back at to, we absolutely hear the frustration that our customers have. We do try to communicate with our customers in advance of the heating season. In October, we send information out that will tell customers where we think the winter heating bill ultimately will go. We do it kind of over the winter months, so 4 or 5 month period. We did send information out, but and we do use social media. We use literature that we put out. We do have meetings with like local leadership to kind of explain the different programs we have and what we think we will be seeing over the winter. It's hard to predict a cold, long winter like this. We did anticipate about a 16% increase. We're seeing a fairly significant increase. In fact, it's about 153% increase in usage from November to December. It's hard to predict that, and we just need to do more to try to get information to our customers to make sure they understand when we think we see these cold snaps coming.
Thank you, sir. So I want to get a little bit technical in this question. So how does NIPSCO exactly calculate its natural gas rates?
Yeah, so our rates are all set through a regulated process. We're a regulated utility, and so we do something called file a rate case. We did have a rate case back in 2024 for our gas utility. We had a rate case in 2025 for our electric utility. In that process, we'll establish rates. It's usually can be up to a 12-month process. What you're really looking at is all the investment that you need to make in the system to ensure that we can provide safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers. If you think about our system, it's about 18,000 miles of pipe. We have over 700 miles of transmission pipe. If you think about what that is, if you were to wrap it around the earth, you'd go about 3/4 of the way around the earth with just the pipe that we serve. We serve the entire top third of Indiana for natural gas for the most part. So we serve from East Chicago all the way over to Angola and Fort Wayne. So it's a very large service territory. In those cases, we're looking at all those investments that we have to make to ensure that we're operating the system safely, that we're maintaining the system, that we're doing everything we can to ultimately be sure that our customers have the energy and heat that they need in these really cold times. The rates are then established through that process. That rate is then applied to our customers' usage. And in warmer months for the natural gas, the bill will go down. In colder months, the bill goes up. And that delivery charge is really intended to recover all those costs and the investment in the system to ensure that we can provide safe and reliable service to our customers. The other part of the bill is really the energy part, so the natural gas itself. That is a market-based price. It's a straight pass-through. What we pay is what our customers pay. There's no markup on that piece. And those two components together are what our customer pays.
Gotcha. So before we get into the delivery charges and more details into that, I think I want to ask you one more question related to that natural gas rates. Based on the natural gas rates prices nationwide, we spotted some inconsistency when it comes to the gas rates. So in November 2024, the gas price was lower than the August 2025, but the actual gas rate went up, meaning that the natural gas price index went down, whereas the gas rates increased. So could you explain a little bit about, even though we see a lower gas price index, customers would expect to see higher gas rates?
Yeah, so the price of natural gas has gone up. The price of the cost of natural gas this season, December and January. In fact, in December, it went about 50% higher than it was for December of last year. And the price in January has gone up as well. What we try to do throughout the year is we look for opportunities to go out into the market to buy natural gas, to put it in storage, so that we can maybe take some advantage of some of those lower prices. We do use storage to ultimately supply gas to our customers during these higher use periods. We also have a little bit of a hedging program to also try to take a little bit of that cost off our customers if we can find good opportunities to hedge in the market when the prices are a little bit more attractive. So there is a little bit of a difference between the spot price in the market that you might see at any given point in time and ultimately the cost of the gas that our customers are paying. It's all based upon market, but we do try to take opportunities to find lower prices in the market where we could put gas in storage or do a little bit of hedging to ensure that our customers are getting the value and the benefit of those lower price periods.
So you're saying there might be some volatility in rates when it comes to in comparison to the natural gas rates, the actual gas rate that the customer is paying could be different from the national trend.
The market rates tend to be volatile. They move up every day. They move up every month. They have longer strips, so the market moves around very significantly. We try to take some of that volatility out through the different programs that we have approved through the regulated process to ensure that we're doing everything we can to try to take some of that volatility out of the market. But at the end of the day, all the prices that our customer pays are based upon the market prices of gas.
Gotcha, sir. Thank you so much for the explanation. So we want to jump right into the delivery fees. A lot of customers have been sharing frustration and a little bit of curiosity how the delivery fees are calculated. You touched upon a little bit on that in the last question, but I think Could you break down what delivery charge include and how they are being calculated?
Yeah, there are a number of different components to it. Primarily, it is a volumetric charge, and so what we do have a smaller fixed fee. It's about $16.50 a month. There are a number of other components to it that are really tied to the investments that we make in the system, the maintenance that we ultimately have on the system to ensure that we can keep that on and safe and reliable. The as the natural gas usage moves up, the price that we charge for the distribution is tied to that variation in usage. So, in higher use months, like we've seen in December and January, which is typically the highest use months in the winter, the bill will go up because it is tied to a volumetric charge.
So, sir, a couple of some follow-up questions. The first of one is that a lot of customers reach out to us sharing their November, December, and January bills. And then, so November bills, they're supposed to be paying for their usage in October through November. And they started to see that increase in delivery charges from that period. And based on my understanding, we had warmer weather than usual in November. So I think a lot of customers are asking questions why the delivery charges has gone up in November, even though we had warmer weather conditions.
Yeah, warmer weather conditions than what we would trend as normal weather conditions, but still colder than in months that you would see like in August or September, where customers are really just using natural gas for things like heating water, potentially cooking, that type of thing. Certainly, there were heating degree days, is what we call them, but in November, many more in December and January. So you will see a higher usage in November bill than you're going to see in, say, for example, an August bill. Kind of the example I think I used was August. I think average usage was about 14 therms, where in December the average usage was about 160 therms. The average usage in November is higher than it is in August, but not as high as it was in December. And when you're really looking at ultimately whether it's colder than normal or warmer than normal, you're still going to have more usage in a month like November than you will in a month like August.
Thank you, sir. So, other question is that the NIPSCO has been serving the community for more than 100 years, and a lot of customers say they have seen constant delivery charges for the last few years. For example, one customer shared her utility bill from the past 5 years every month, and then the delivery charges has never exceeded $20. But she says the delivery charges started to increase from this November from 20 to 50 to 70, and now she's paying over $100. Could you explain why the delivery charges significantly increased compared to previous time periods?
Yeah, our primary responsibility to our customers is to ensure that we provide safe and reliable service. It's really critical, and you can see in these really cold months that we've been having in these multiple days and weeks where it's single degree temperatures. I've been really proud of how our system has been responding to these weathers, and really proud of our teams and the work that they do to go out in the field and ensure that the system is working and it's safe. That's only possible because of the investments that we make in our system, and we have been continuing to invest in our system over the last 5 years to ensure that we can continue to keep that safe, reliable service on for our customers. We've really seen it perform incredibly well during this last cold snap. We've had less than 0.01% of our customers have any interruption in service at all, and those that have experienced any kind of an interruption, our team has been fantastic about getting out into the field, working diligently to get that service back on. And so those investments, which are really necessary, we talk about over 18,000 miles of pipe that we have on our system, over 700 miles of transmission pipe. We have to invest in that really every day to ensure that we continue to keep it safe and reliable for our customers.
So you mentioned the investment on the infrastructure and maintenance fees, and based on what the customers have been sharing with us, can we interpret that as the NIPSCO has started drastic investment on its infrastructure in recent few months?
No, I wouldn't say drastic. This has really been a very measured approach. It's investments that we've been making over multiple years to ensure that the system continues to stay safe and reliable. Our last rate case for our NIPSCO gas system was back in 2024. That's where we reestablished the new rates that we have for our customers. We continue to make investments in our system to ensure that we continue to provide that service for our customers, but it really is something that we do in a very measured and very disciplined approach.
Before we jump into the next question, one customer, this is a case of one customer, and he shared a bill with us where the gas charge was just 19 cents, but delivery charge he was charged was $50.40. I think a lot of people are asking questions about how this could actually happen because he used less than 50 cents for his gas while he's paying $50 for his delivery charge. Could you explain how this could happen?
But it's hard to comment on any specific customer bill. What I would implore our customers to do if they see something that they don't understand on the bills, please contact us. You can reach us on nipsco.com/financial support. You can get us at our 1-800-4 NIPSCO line. Talk to one of our customer care center representatives. If you've got issues that you see on your bill that don't make sense or don't look right, that's a great place to go. If there's assistance that a customer needs for support, whether that's through our SERVE program, our Silver program, we have a LIHEAP program. There's a lot of different support programs we can provide for our customers. We'd ask customers just please reach out. Let us take a look at that. Let us help us understand it. When I look at our customers' bills for December, for example, it was just a little bit over 53% of our customers had a bill under $200, and only about 2.88% of our customers had a bill, and those were mostly our combo customers, that was over 500. Understanding a specific customer's bill is really better if we can take a look at that specifically. So we would really just ask that customer to reach out.
Before we get into other questions, this is my last question related to delivery charges. We've been reached out to by many NIPSCO customers saying they have no idea about how delivery charges are being calculated, and we reported on the press release from NIPSCO saying delivery charges actually covers not only delivering the gases, but also maintaining and also keeping the upkeep of the infrastructure. A lot of customers say they didn't really know about that before our report. So do you think NIPSCO could have reached out to customers in a better way, informing such delivery fees are being used to keep the maintenance and the upkeep of the infrastructure?
Yeah, we try to reach our customers as frequently and as often as we can. We use social media because we know a lot of customers will look there. We have our website available as well. I mentioned before, in October we go out, we provide a lot of information about where we see prices trending and where we see bills trending through the winter months. But we can always do more to communicate. We're working with our customer care center to take a look at different ways that we could proactively reach out to customers. We're usually more reactive in taking calls from customers, but it's certainly an area where we can do more. We are looking at putting more communications out. We've heard from our customers. We understand that frustration. We want to make sure we're doing everything we can to make sure our customers understand the bill, understand how it's calculated, and certainly understand the help and the support that's available.
Thank you, sir. So before we jump into other topic, do you have any other words to the customers regarding the natural gas charges and the delivery fees? And I think a lot of customers are asking for transparency when it comes to this.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand that when a customer gets a bill that they're not expecting, it can have a huge impact on their budget. It's something that's hard to understand. It's confusing, frustrating. I would ask our customers to reach out to us if you feel like you're struggling understanding your bill, if you're struggling making a payment, or if you think you might struggle making a payment. Reach out to our customer support team. They're right here in Indiana. You can get them at the 1-800-4 number. They'll walk through your bill with you. We've got a number of different support programs that are available for our customers, and we'd really like to make sure we can match up those programs with any customer that might be in need.
Thank you, sir. So moving on to other question, we understand that under Indiana law, energy utility companies like NIPSCO can pass along up to 80% of transmission, distribution, and storage improvement charges to customers. NIPSCO filed plans with the state back in September to build a new electric generators to serve at least one data center coming to the region in the Schaffer Generating Station in Wheatfield. Are these infrastructure costs being added to customers' bills?
They're not. And in fact, we're really actually very excited about the opportunity that we have with respect to these large load and data center customers that have come and asked for service from us. We filed an application that was approved with the commission back in 2025 for a new company called Genco. 100% of the cost associated with developing new generation and the infrastructure associated with that will be paid for by the data center. None of that cost will go back to our customers. And in fact, the data center customer will pay a customer use fee. That charge will ultimately go to the data center customer, and a credit will go on the bill for all of our customers, all of our electric customers. The example that you were talking about with the one that's been announced, over $1 billion will come back to our customers in support over the 15 years of that contract, with absolutely none of the cost associated with the generation that we have to build or any of the load side work that we have to do, substations, that type of thing, for those large load customers. So yes, for our customers, all the investment that we'll make in new large load customers will be paid for by those large load customers. So we went to the commission and ultimately got approval last year of something called Genco. It lets us move all of that generation and all the costs of that generation away from our core customers, so that our traditional customer base doesn't have to pay a dime for any of the investment that we need to make for new generation for those large load customers, for the data centers. And in fact, because they'll be utilizing our system, those customers will ultimately pay a fee, a service fee, to use the system, 100% of which goes back to our customers. So for the contract that we announced, over the 15-year life of that contract, that'll be $1 billion that'll go back to our customers as a credit on the bill, without any exposure or cost associated with the generation that we'll build for those new customers, those new data centers.
Thank you for that response. I have two more questions, and one of them is about the meters. I know that the NIPSCO is currently under investigation by the IURC, Indian Utility Regulatory Commission, and they're about the modules that's been newly installed to the customers. And I've seen a lot of people sharing the notification of letters in their doorknob or their footsteps, saying NIPSCO has changed their meters, or they're about to change their meters with the smart meters, so-called smart meters. A lot of customers are concerned of the negative impacts of these new meters, and then I think they're asking for more explanation about these new meters. Could you walk us through a little bit about those meters and how the investigation is going, and will NIPSCO continue changing those meters with the smart meters?
Yeah, we understand the concern, and really want to clarify the concerns that are there. We did start noticing some issues with respect to existing meters that we had when we were moving into the process of putting our automated meter infrastructure, we call it AMI, into service. The AMIs have absolutely nothing to do with any of those discrepancies that we were seeing. We did see some discrepancies in bills for a very, very small percentage of our customers. We went and reported that to the IURC, to the commission ourselves, to make sure that they were aware of it as we work through it. It is a very small percentage. Our gas customers only. Doesn't have anything to do with the AMI or the new technology. This is technology that's really out and being used by most utilities at this point to have more automated metering, to provide advanced and additional services to our customers. And we do intend to continue to roll it out. But our customers should not be worried about the AMI meters. That's good. It's good and new technology, and has nothing to do with respect to those discrepancies that we're seeing. We'll continue to work through that process with the IURC, providing them with information as we go. Want our customers to know a very, very small percentage of our customers were impacted by that, and has nothing to do with the AMIs.
Thank you, sir, for the explanation. Before we go, one of the other utility companies here in northern Indiana, which is Indian and Michigan Power, they announced that they will not disconnect service during this winter season. We know we've been going through brutally cold winter weather here in Michiana. And is NIPSCO considering a similar moratorium or on disconnections to protect customers to get their gas and electricity during this winter season?
Yeah, we do pause or stop disconnections from December through March with respect to any of our customers that are eligible for LIHEAP or on LIHEAP. That's something that we do kind of automatically, as well as when we get to extreme cold temperatures. So if it's going to be below 20 degrees on any given day or in the forecast, we'll suspend those disconnections, and then for a couple of days beyond that, just so that our customers can make arrangements. We actually do the same thing in the summer with very hot temperature degree days. So if it gets to be or forecasted to be over 90 degrees, we'll also suspend disconnection during those periods so that our customers obviously can have the safe and reliable service that they're accustomed to.
Yeah, I asked that question because Indiana law actually requires utility companies not to disconnect services during extreme hot weathers or extreme cold weathers. And when it comes to cold weathers, it's only for those customers eligible for assistance. But I'm asking if NIPSCO will NIPSCO release any press releases or public notice that saying that we'll not disconnect our services during this cold weather, or should customers expect any of that notice in the future?
Yeah, we apply that to all of our customers during the extreme temperatures. So if it's going to be forecasted to be below 20 degrees, we suspend those disconnections, and we'll suspend those disconnections until it's going to be above that for a couple of days. Certainly, we put that information out to our customers. I'm relaying that right now, and if we feel that additional notice to our customers is helpful, then we certainly can put that information out as well.
So before we jump into last question, customers have been reaching out to us saying that they've got a notification informing their service might get cut because of the payment issues. So should they not to be worried about possible disconnections if the temperature stays really low?
I would always implore our customers, if they get those notices, to call in to see what kind of payment arrangements we can make. We have payment plans. We can do budget billing. We talked a little bit about some of the different programs that are available for our customers. I would always ask our customers when if they receive a notice like that to reach out to us to see what kind of arrangements we might be able to make to help them through it. As I said, if the temperature is going to be below 20 degrees, we'll suspend that. We'll suspend those disconnections. Notices will be generated by the system as part of the requirements that we have under the regulatory structure whenever a customer gets past due for a certain amount of time. But if a customer does get a notice like that, please reach out to us, 1-800-4NIPSCO, the number 4 in NIPSCO. Our customer care team is there to be able to help provide assistance, create payment plans, and do other things to help guide customers toward the assistance programs that are available.
Yeah, I shared that because a lot of customers are desperate in need for the gas and utility in this brutally cold weather. So that's why I asked that question. Before I let you go, I have one last question. One group called NIPSCO Monopoly Madness. I don't know if you have heard of that group or not. That's on Facebook group. And a lot of people have been still sharing frustrations and anger on the NIPSCO utility bills and how NIPSCO has been cooperating and responding to this at this moment. So, and I think the group is planning to have some protests in front of the NIPSCO headquarters next week. How are you going to work with your customers? Some of them having shared a lot of frustrations and angers towards the NIPSCO.
Yeah, we absolutely hear the concerns our customers have. Understand that when that bill goes up, it's hard to understand it. It's frustrating. Our customer care team is available. That we're here. We have a number of different programs our customers can apply for. LIHEAP is available. The applications, I think, are still available through April of this year. We have a hardship program where some funds are available. Our silver program is there for our senior customers. Our serve is for our active duty and veteran customers that can reach out, and ultimately we can provide assistance through those programs. We have budget billing programs. We have payment plan programs. We can work with our customers. I just ask our customers to reach out. They can find a lot of information on nipsco.com/financial support, or they can call into our customer care center at 1-800-4NIPSCO to look for that support. We're here for our customers. We're here to help. We understand how challenging it can be when the temperatures go down and ultimately the bill goes up. We want to do everything we can to help support our customers.
You've been sharing a lot of methods or ways for customers to reach out to NIPSCO. Otherwise, I'm going to ask, is NIPSCO planning to reach out to its customers regarding this utility bill spikes?
Yeah, we are. We're sending information out to our customers. We have information going out on social. We're working with our customer care team right now. We can identify customers in the system different ways, and we can look for areas where we think we have customers that might be struggling paying their bill. We can also look for customers that maybe have been struggling paying their bill, and we're working on a program where we can proactively reach out to those customers, provide them with potentially office hours, times where they could have specific points in time where they can call in and talk with us, or we can call them and ultimately work with them. So we are working through a new program that will help us more proactively reach out to our customers that we think are struggling or may be struggling.
Do you have any other last words to NIPSCO customers out there?
Just we hear the frustration. I understand the frustration. We do have a lot of programs available for customers to help customers through this. The difficult time. We understand when we have these long extended periods of cold weather, that does put a significant burden on our customers and on the system. And I'm proud of our people, proud of our teams, what they've been able to do to maintain the system throughout these challenging times, and really ask our customers, if you need help, please reach out.